Hi, everybody. Johanna here. Welcome to class. Today we are going to do between 30 to 45 minutes of just a basic kind of stretch. Being kind of midday, mid-afternoon, I thought it'd be nice to stretch out the hamstrings, stretch the inner thighs, and even do a little bit of chest opening and shoulder opening. So if you have blocks, a strap and a blanket, or if you don't have blocks, you can get thick books, a towel or anything, or even a soft pillow to lay under your back eventually. And if you don't have a strap, you can use a belt or even a long towel as well. I use dish towels sometimes if I can't find my strap. So we're going to start in a comfortable seat. You can either sit up onto a block or a blanket and bring your palms to your thighs and close your eyes. And just take a moment here to turn inward and to greet yourself. To greet yourself as you are, not as you think you should be. To greet yourself without any expectations, without any judgments. And just take a moment here to start to feel into your body. The beginning of last week was really rough for me. I was very much in my head when it came to my practice, even teaching, in my head about things that were non-yoga. And I had a friend ask me to tell her what I was feeling. Not what I was thinking, but feeling. And so as we move through practice this afternoon, I invite you to get out of that headspace of thinking. Don't think about what you're doing. Just feel yourself doing it. Feel your body moving. Feel your breath flowing. And allow your heart and your mind to connect to that instead of the thoughts that are swirling around in your head. If you're like me, I have a hamster wheel almost going about 24 hours a day. And so yoga helps me to stop that hamster from going on its wheel. So wherever you are in your breath, exhale completely. Inhale deeply through your nose and hold it at the top. Fill your lungs up, all the way up to imagine you're filling your lungs up to your shoulders. Then exhale through your mouth. Inhale deeply through your nose. Take in as much air as you can. And when you think you've taken in all the air that you can, take in one more sip. Then exhale through your mouth. Then one more time, inhale deeply through your nose. Fill your lungs up all the way up to your shoulders. Then exhale through your mouth. Then start to slowly blink your eyes open. You're going to roll over your shins and come into child's pose towards the back of your mat. So child's pose, bring your big toes to touch. You can either have your knees as narrow as your hips or as wide as your yoga mat. Now first, inhale, lift your chest up like you're doing a cow pose. Then as you exhale, start to move your hips back to your heels. Keep moving your chest forward, lift your chin. You can stay here or walk your hands forward a little more. Then bring your forehead and nose to or towards your mat. The floor feels far. You can always use a block under that forehead, or you can even stack your fist if you need to. Now make sure your hands are slightly wider than your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide and even. And imagine your shoulders are like your hands. So from your shoulders, press your hands down and forward. Claw your mat with your fingertips. And as you press your hands down and forward, lift your forearms up, upper arms up, armpits up away from the floor. So hollow out your armpits like you're moving them away from a flame. Now lift your chest towards the floor. So move that in towards your thighs, and that's going to move your upper back in. And as you keep all of this engagement, keep pressing your hands down and forward. to press your hips down and back. And again, take a moment here, move out of that space of thinking into non-thinking. What are you feeling? Are you tensing? See if you can release. See if you can surrender. Then inhale, come back into that tabletop position. Bring your wrist under your shoulders, hands slightly wider. Spread your fingers wide and even. Bring your knees under your hips, hip width apart. And on your next inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Point through your toes. Now, after you point your toes, tone and turn that kneecap down. Now, flex your foot. Point your toes towards the floor. You can stay here. Bend your right knee out to the side like a peeing dog. Hop. You can stay here or straighten that right leg. Then bend your knee. Lower your knee to the floor. Then inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Point through your toes. Tone and turn that kneecap down. Then flex your foot. Flare your toes. Stay here or bend your left knee out to the side. Stay here. Straighten your leg. Then bend your knee. Lower your knee to the floor. We're going to do that 20 more times. Totally kidding. 2 more times on each side. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Point through your toes. Tone and turn that kneecap down. Then flex your foot. Flare your toes. Pointing your toes towards the floor. Stay here or bend your right knee out to the side. Stay here or straighten your leg to your capacity. Bend your knee, lower it down. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Point through your toes, tone your low belly, lift your chest. Flex your foot, flare your toes. Stay here, bend your knee out to the side. Stay here or straighten your leg. And bend your knee, lower your knee to the floor. Whew, I'm feeling them already. Now keep lifting up through your chest. Stretch your right leg back behind you. Point your toes. Then flex your right foot. Flare your toes. Bend your right knee out to the side. Stay here, straighten your right leg. Then bend your knee, lower your knee to the floor. Then one more time, inhale, stretch your left leg out behind you. Flex your foot, flare your toes. Bend your left knee out to the side. Stay here, straighten your leg. Then bend your knee, lower your knee to the floor. Then tuck your toes under. Walk your knees back 4 inches. And tuck your pinky toe under if you can. Then walk your hands forward and bring your forehead to or towards the floor. Now again, just like in child's pose, make sure your hands are slightly wider than your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide and even. Press down into your index knuckle, squeeze your ring finger and thumb towards each other. Now lift your forearms up, upper arms up, armpits up, just like we did in child's. Then lift your chest towards your thighs to move that upper back in. So this is puppy pose. You can stay here. It's a great alternative to down dog. Or on your next exhale, press your hips up and back. Root down through your heels, coming into downward facing dog. Now you can keep a bend to your knees, but make sure you're pressing your hips up and back. Press into your big toe mounds, root through your heels. And again, forearms up, upper arms up, armpits up, away from the floor. Squeeze your biceps in. Lift your chest. Relax your neck. Then on your next inhale, come into plank pose. Lower your knees. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. And roll over to lie down onto your back. If you have a strap, before you lay down, grab onto that strap. You just won't need it yet, but just keep it near you. Now bend your knees, bringing your feet to the floor. And you're going to bring your right ankle across your left knee. Flex your right foot back, flare your toes. Now kick your ankle and knee into each other. Press your right knee away from you. That's going to externally rotate that right hip open. Now you can stay here. You're in a really good place right here. Or you can bend your left knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers at the muscle belly of your left hamstring or your left shin. Now kick your ankle and knee into each other. Press your right knee away from you. Now squeeze, energetically squeeze your heels towards your hips. Keep your low belly tone. Roll ½ an inch to the left. And you can stay here or pull in a little deeper, then press your seat towards the floor. Then on your exhale, slowly release. Lower your feet and switch sides. Bring your left ankle across your right knee. Flex your left foot back. Flare your toes. Kick that ankle and knee into each other. Press that left knee away from you. You can stay right here or bend your right knee in towards your chest. Reach through your legs and interlace your fingers at the muscle belly of your right hamstring or your right shin. Now keep flexing your feet, flaring your toes. Energetically squeeze your heels towards your hips. Kick your ankle and knee into each other and press your left knee away from you. Tone your low belly. Relax your shoulders. Again, roll ½ an inch to your right. You can stay here or bend in a little deeper, then press your seat towards the floor. And on your exhale, slowly release. Stretch your arms up overhead. Stretch your legs out straight. Give yourself a big full body stretch. Then bend your knees. Bring the soles of your feet to the floor. Bring your right ankle across your left knee again. Flex your right foot back. Flare your toes. Now kick your ankle and knee into each other. Press your right knee away from you. You can stay here or reach through your legs. And this time, interlace your fingers at the muscle belly of your left hamstring. Roll ½ an inch to your left. Now stay here or kick your leg and hands into each other and start to straighten that left leg to your capacity. Keep kicking your leg and hands together. Kick that right ankle in towards your left knee. Press your right knee away from you. Now energetically squeeze your right heel towards your glutes. Tone your low belly. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Then bend your left knee. Release your interlace. Lower your foot to the floor and switch sides. Bring your left ankle across your right knee. Flex your left foot back. Flare your toes. Kick your ankle and knee into each other. Now you can stay here or bend your right knee in towards your chest. Reach through your legs. Interlace your fingers at the muscle belly of your right hamstring. Yeah, just your right hamstring. Now kick your leg and hands into each other. You can stay here or start to straighten that right leg to your capacity. Flex your feet, flare your toes. Kick your ankle and knee together. Press that left knee away. Energetically squeeze that left heel towards your glutes. Keep your low belly tone and even pull that right leg towards you while pressing your right leg into your hands. Relax your jaw. And bend your knee. Lower your foot to the floor. Now you're going to bring your feet as wide as your yoga mat. Bring your arms out to the side, elbows in line with your shoulders. Now lift your hips up and over to the left. And as you exhale, lower your knees to the right. Flex your feet, flare your toes. Press your right knee down and away. And you're going to feel a nice stretch in that quad and even in that front hip flexor. Squeeze your heels towards your glutes. From inside your stomach, turn your torso from the left to the right and either look up or look over your left shoulder. Then inhale, come back up through center. Lift your hips up and over to the right 2 inches. Lower your knees to the left. Now flex your feet, flare your toes. Press that right knee down and away. Squeeze your heels towards your glutes. From inside your stomach, turn your torso from the left to the right And either look up or look over your right shoulder. Feel into your body. Remember to leave that thinking brain and just go into feeling. Feel your breath. Notice any shifts that you can feel. Then inhale, come back up through center. Then if you have a wall, that's awesome. You can move your feet down to the wall, but you're going to grab onto your strap, lie back down onto your back. Now, if you can do this against a wall, great. If not, that's okay too. The wall can just help to add a greater stretch into this leg. Now, you can either have your knees bent starting out or straighten your legs. If you're using a wall, get your feet snug against that wall. Press your feet into it. Straighten your legs just like you would in mountain pose. So imagine you're standing in mountain on the wall. Then you're going to grab your strap, bend your right knee in towards your chest, and bring the strap around the ball of your right foot. And your feet will probably come away from the wall so you can adjust so that your left foot's snug again. And press your left foot into the wall, energetically drag it up the wall so that you're pressing your left thigh down. Now bring your strap into your right hand. Bring your left arm out to the side. Flex your foot, flare your toes. Then as you inhale, pull your right foot towards your face. And as you exhale, slowly lower your right leg out to the side. This is as far as I can go, or my foot's going to be in fire. So from inside your stomach, turn your torso from the right to the left. Energetically drag your left heel up the wall to press your left thigh down. Keep your low belly tone. Press your foot and strap into each other, and even maybe pull that right foot towards your right shoulder. Remember to breathe. Then inhale, slowly come back through center. Bring your strap into your left hand. Press that right thigh away from you. Bring your right arm out to the side. Now your low back's going to want to lift. Keep your low back rooted to the floor. And as you exhale, lower your right leg just a few inches across your body. Now keep pressing that left foot into the wall. Energetically drag your left foot up the wall, pressing that left thigh down. Now press your right thigh away from you. Pull your right foot towards your left shoulder. Tone and twist from your abdomen up towards the ceiling, and either look up or look over your right shoulder. Then inhale, come back up through center. Remove the strap away from your foot. Lower your right leg down to the mat. You can even take a moment here to notice the difference you can feel in the right side of your body compared to the left side. You may not feel a difference, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong answer. Now get your right foot snug into the wall if you're using a wall. Then bend your left knee in towards your chest. Bring the strap around the ball of your left foot. And start to straighten your left leg to your capacity. Now press your left thigh away from you. Press your right foot into the wall. Energetically drag it up the wall. Bring your strap into your left hand. Bring your right arm out to the side. And if you're not using the wall, just flex that right foot back. Press your right thigh towards the floor. Then stretch your left foot towards your face first. Then as you exhale, slowly lower your left leg out to the side. And again, the right side of your body is going to want to lift up. So press your right foot or press that through your heel, flex your foot, flare your toes. Drag your right foot up the wall, press your right thigh down. Then from inside your stomach, turn your torso from the left to the right. Pull your left foot towards your left shoulder. And notice where you can feel the pose. Notice how you're feeling in the pose. Where can you soften? Then inhale, come back up through center. Bring your strap into your right hand. Again, pull that right or left foot forward. Stretch your left leg just a few inches across your body. Don't let that low back lift. Your glutes might lift a little bit, but don't let your low back come up. Tack that hip back. Press your left thigh away from you. Pull your left foot towards your right shoulder. Now press out through your right heel, flex your foot, flare your toes. Press your right thigh towards the floor. Keep your low belly tone. Relax your jaw. Relax your gaze. Then inhale, come back up through center. Remove the strap from the ball of your foot. And lower your left leg down. And again, just take a moment here to check in. See if anything feels different. If not, that's okay too. Now you're going to start to roll onto your stomach. And bring your arms out to the side. You want to make sure your wrist, elbow, and shoulder are in line with each other. You can bring your forehead or your chin to the floor. Now press your right hand down. Press your right arm into the floor. Come onto your left fingertips. Plug that left shoulder back. So plug your shoulder in towards your shoulder blade. Then on your exhale, keep pressing into your right arm. Roll onto your right hip. Look towards your right shoulder. Keep plugging that left shoulder back. Now you can stay here or step your top foot back behind you. And breathe. Then on your exhale, slowly roll onto your stomach. Bring your left arm out to the side. Make sure your wrist, elbow, and shoulder are in line. Come onto your right fingertips. Now press your right hand down. Plug that right shoulder onto your back. So move that shoulder blade in towards your spine. Stay here or roll onto your left hip. You can stack your feet, flexing your feet, flaring your toes. Or you can bring your right foot back behind you. Now keep pressing your right hand down and forward. Plug that right shoulder onto your back. Keep your low belly tone. Check in with your breath. Then on your exhale, slowly roll onto your stomach. We're going to do it one more time. I know you're really excited. Bring your wrist, elbow, and shoulder in line with each other. Now press your right hand down. Come onto your left fingertips. Press your left hand down and forward. Plug that left shoulder back. Then as you exhale, roll onto your right hip and either stack your feet or step your top foot back behind you. Keep pressing your arm into the floor. Press your left hand down and forward. Look towards your right shoulder. Then exhale, slowly roll onto your stomach. Bring your left arm out to the side, elbow, wrist, and shoulder all in one line. Come onto your right fingertips. Now press your right hand down and forward. Plug that right shoulder back. Press into your left arm. Grip the floor with your fingertips. Now on your exhale, roll onto your left hip. You can either stack your feet or step your back foot behind you. And one side might be tighter than the other. It's completely normal. This side is a little more tight than my right side. Keep your low belly tone. Press your right hand down and forward. Press into your left hand. Grip the floor with your fingertips. Then on your exhale, slowly roll onto your stomach. You're going to bring your hands under your shoulders. Press up into a tabletop position. Now when I'm in a tabletop position, moving into lunges, I usually like to use blocks or anything that can bring a little height. So when I'm on table, I'll bring my hands on the blocks like this. Then you're going to step your right foot forward in between your hands or your blocks. Now come up onto your fingertips. Clamp your front heel back knee together. Engage your glutes. Now you can stay here or on your inhale, bring your torso upright, arms overhead. Now you can keep your toes back tucked under, your back toes tucked under, or you can bring the top of your foot to the floor. Top of my foot to the floor, I get a little bit more of a stretch here. Keep squeezing your knees in. Engage your left glutes. Press your tailbone forward. Now keep your low belly tone from the bottom of your rib cage. Stretch up through your fingertips. Move your biceps up and back, and you can start to move your hips down and forward, but keep squeezing those knees in. Then on your exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot forward. And make sure this back thigh is at about a 45-degree angle to the floor and not like this, unless you specifically need it like this for your body. Then on your next inhale, slowly bring your torso upright, arms overhead. Now press into that back foot if the top of your foot's to the floor. Squeeze your knees in. Engage your right glutes. Press your tailbone down. Tone your low belly from your ribs. Stretch up through your fingertips. Stay here or start to move your hips down and forward. Keep squeezing your knees in. Move your biceps up and back. And exhale. Slowly bring your hands down to the mat. Step back into plank pose or into a modified plank with your knees to the floor. Again, make sure in a modified plank you're not like this, because then this happens. Modified plank, thighs at a 45-degree angle. Then on your exhale, slowly lower. Bring the tops of your feet to the floor. Wrist at a 90-degree angle under your elbow. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Press into your feet. Engage your glutes. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra pose. Press into your feet. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, down dog. Press your hands down and forward, hips up and back, or you can come into puppy pose if that feels better, like we did at the beginning of class. Then on your next exhale, bend your knees 2 inches, look in between your hands, and step, hop, or walk to the front of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to get all 10 fingertips to the floor. You can always use blocks under your hands, or have your feet out or hip width apart, or feet together. Roll weight to the fronts of your feet. Press your hands down and forward, feet down and back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet. Bring a micro bend to your knees. Inhale, start to bring your torso upright. Stretch your arms up overhead, lengthen up out of your waist. And exhale, mountain pose. How are y'all feeling? Feeling a little bit better than I did at the beginning. All right. So either feet together or feet hip width or even outer hip width apart. Do what's best for your body. Bring your hands to your hips. Now press your hands into your hips, then press them down. So in, then down. Squeeze your elbows and shoulder blades in. Now keep pressing your right hand in and down. Stretch your left arm up. Now inhale, stretch up out of your waist. Then as you exhale, tip your torso to the right. Now your right shoulder will lag back. Don't move your hips. Use your spine. Move that right shoulder forward, left shoulder back. Root down into your feet. Tone your thighs. Lift your kneecaps. Engage your glutes, but don't clench your glutes. And from your left armpit, stretch up through your left fingertips and stretch your left ribs up to where the wall and ceiling meet. And inhale, come back up through center. Bring your left hand to your hip. Again, press your hands in and then down. Inhale, stretch your right arm up overhead. Now stretch up out of your waist. And as you exhale, tip your torso to the left. Now keep rooting down into your feet. Tone your thighs, lift your kneecaps, engage your glutes. Press your tailbone forward. Now without moving your hips, move that left shoulder forward, right shoulder back. From your right rib cage, stretch up to your wall and ceiling meet. Lengthen up out of your fingertips. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, mountain. Then again, either feet together or feet hip width apart. Inhale, stretch your arms up parallel to the floor so that your palms are facing each other. Now interlace your fingers like this. You're going to press your palms forward. Then let your inner shoulders float towards your ears. Plug your shoulders back. Then stretch your arms up and back, coming into summit. Press up through your index knuckles. Squeeze your biceps towards your ears. Press down into your feet. Tone your thighs. Lift your kneecaps. Engage your glutes. Press your ribs down and back. Lift your chin. Then on your exhale, release your interlace. Hinge at your hips. Lead with your heart. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Step back, down dog. Now press your hands down and forward. Press your hips up and back. Root down through your heels. Then on your exhale, bend your knees. Come into that tabletop position. Again, you can bring your blocks under your hands. Step your right foot forward in between your hands. Make sure that back thigh is at an angle, unless you know you need to work with more of a 90-degree angle. Then move your left hand up and out 6 inches under your shoulder. You can even bring your left hand to a block. Bring your right hand to your thighs. Now turn your right toes out 30 degrees. Tone and twist your abdomen open to the right. You can stay here or bend your back knee, reach back with your right hand and grab the outer edge of your foot. Now bring your hips back to your heel. Once you have that hip to heel connection, you can move your hips down and forward. If you lose it, back up. Now squeeze your knees in, squeeze your shoulder blades in as you tone and twist up towards the ceiling. Look past your right shoulder. Exhale, slowly release. Bring your hands to the mat and step your right foot back and step your left foot forward. Now walk your right hand up and out 6 inches under your shoulder. Bring your left hand to your thigh. Turn your left toes out 30 degrees. Squeeze your knees in. Now tone and twist from your bottom left ribs open. Stay here or bend your back knee. Reach back with your left hand. Grab the outer edge of your foot. Now bring your hip back to your heel. Once you have that hip to heel connection, you can move your hip down and forward. Squeeze your knees in. Engage your right glutes. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Lift your chest. Lift your chin. Then exhale, slowly release. Bring your hands down to the mat and step your left foot back. And step back, down dog or puppy pose. Pedal your feet back and forth. Move your hips from side to side. Then inhale, come into plank pose. You can always lower your knees. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. And roll over to lie down onto your back. Then bend your knees. Bring the soles of your feet to the floor. Bring your feet as wide as your yoga mat. Stretch your arms up overhead. Grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. Stretch up out of your waist. Use your right hand to pull your left arm straight. Then exhale, lower your knees to the right. Flex your feet, flare your toes. Press your right knee down and away. From inside your stomach, turn your torso from the right to the left. Stay here or bring your right ankle above your left knee. Or you can even bring the sole of your right foot to the top of your left thigh. And inhale, come back up through center. Grab onto your right wrist, stretch up out of your waist. Exhale, tip your knees to the left. And press your right knee down and away. Squeeze your heels towards your glutes. Tone and twist your abdomen up towards the ceiling. Use your left hand to pull your right arm strong. You can stay here or bring your left ankle above your right knee or the top or the sole of your left foot to the top of your right thigh. So again, it's always whatever feels best for your body. Always do what's best for you. Inhale, come back up through center. Bring your feet hip width apart, ankles under your knees. So a lot of teachers will say you should be able to brush your heels with your fingertips. Sometimes body composition doesn't allow for that. So I'll just kind of lift my head up, make sure ankles and knees are in line. Then grab the outer edges of your yoga mat. Now press down into your feet, flare your toes. Inhale, lift your hips up. Walk your shoulders underneath you one by one. Now press down into your arms. Press into your feet. Press your knees and thighs away from you. Lift your outer hips up. Lift your chest. Lift your chin. Reach back with your hands. Use your hands to pull into your mat. Then on your exhale, slowly lower to hover. Inhale, press into your feet, lift. Exhale, slowly lower to hover. Inhale, press into your feet and lift. One more time, exhale, slowly lower to hover. Inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips. Then exhale, slowly lower down. Happy baby pose. Bend your knees in toward your chest. Reach inside your legs. Grab the outer edges of your feet. Now press your feet and hands into each other. You can stay static, or you can gently rock side to side, massaging your low back. Let your low back round. Then bend your knees in towards your chest. Grab onto your shins or wrap your forearms around your shins. Give yourself a big full squeeze in. And then when you're ready, open up into your Shavasana. Stretch your arms up overhead. Stretch your legs out straight. Big full body stretch. Take any additional movements your body's craving. Use any props to support your body. You can use blocks. Sometimes I like to bring a block under each thigh, close to my glutes. That usually feels really good on my low back. Or you can bring a blanket or pillow under your knees. Just anything that feels nourishing for you. Relax your toes. Relax your feet. Relax your ankles. Relax your fingers. Relax your hands. Relax your wrists. Relax your shoulders. Soften your jaw. Remove the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Let your brain relax. Move out of that thinking realm and into the feeling. Silence your inner critic. Silence the critics around you. Just let your body be heavy. Start to slowly and gently deepen your breath. Unless you're like, I want to stay in Shavasana longer, then stay in as long as you need to. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, bringing gentle movements back to your body. Gently rock your head side to side. Then one at a time, bend your knees. Bring the soles of your feet to the floor. And roll on to whatever side of your body feels most natural for you this afternoon. And keeping your eyes and your hips heavy, roll forward slightly and press yourself up to a comfortable seat facing forward. Bring your palms to your thighs or your hands to heart center. And again, take a moment here, feel into your body and honor your body for all that it does for you. Recognize your effort. Remember that no effort ever goes wasted. No gains are ever lost in this practice. At the end of every class, I'm starting to say these Sanskrit words, Nama, Namo, which means blossoming your eyes open. Honoring ourselves, honoring each other, and honoring this practice and all those who came before us. May you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you know kindness, may you know love. Namo Namaha. Thank you all for practicing. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us at Yoga Buzz or reach out to me. I am always happy to nerd out on yoga things. Have a great and wonderful rest of your Tuesday.